Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. I do apologize for my current demeanor, but I'm not feeling very well, and I'm doing my very best to present the show to you. Let's take my headphone off here. All right. We're talking National Treasure, Age of History, Today's episode is called Charlotte. And in today's episode, we get to go to Peter Zadusky's wake. In the meantime, Jess is trying to figure out Elvis's clue, but she has a poor job of depicting the clue, and she gets distracted by some cupcakes, and eventually she gets invited by Liam to go to the funeral. This is Peter Zadusky's funeral, and Liam decides to invite also all of Jessica's friends as well. So it's not officially a date, and it's a funeral as well. It's a wake, so you're not going to really have a date at a funeral. Riley comes along. Riley Paul. Riley Paul was in the original movies, and he knows the Zaduskys because of what happened in the first movie. He also knows Liam. The last time he met him was at Liam's father's funeral as well. So, yeah, he knows the family pretty well. God, I'm really fucking struggling today. I do apologize. He meets Jessica, and Jessica gives him the clue for which she got from Elvis, and Riley's really poor at solving this particular clue. And then later on, Riley, he goes around Pete Zadusky's house, finds the secret room, and ends up inside it. Jessica herself has a little roam around the house, and you know who also has a little roam around the house? That FBI agent as well, the one who looks like Wonder Woman from the 70s. She goes into Peter Zadusky's office and takes a little snip of the berry plant, and apparently that plant is poisonous. So she does a quick Google search regarding it. So maybe Peter Zadusky didn't die of natural causes. We already saw like a report on some of his skin. He had some blemishes on his skin. So Peter Zadusky might have been murdered. He might not necessarily have died of natural causes. Oh, thank you very much, Daniel Vance. I'm going to finish it off, mate. It's my last one. The last one of 2022. But it's just a shame that I'm doing it on my own because Cheeto, he's at a Christmas party post-Christmas and the day before New Year. I know it's crazy. Anyway, so Riley checks out Peter Zadusky's room, opens up the secret room by accident, and starts snooping around the secret room. Jessica pays him a visit, and then next thing you know, Riley's unable to resist touching Peter Zadusky's glasses, the ones that Riley came across in one of the National Treasure movies. And by doing so, he sets off the alarm system. And basically, the adventure for today's episode is escaping Peter Zadusky's secret room. So we also get to see Billy, Billy played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's talking to some corporate executives, and they mention a couple of things that has made me realize who Billy actually is. I'll tell you one thing. I don't think Billy is necessarily the bad guy. She has her own agenda, but I don't think she's as evil as we assume. I think she's obviously a bit of a bitch and maybe a bit what's the word? A bit of tunnel vision and so on, but I don't think she's a killer. I don't think she's a murderer. I think Billy is Liam's auntie. You see, Billy gets mentioned, gets told about her brother dying, and I think her brother is Liam's father. She also has the green box as well, which Liam's father apparently found, but Liam and Peter Sadusky never found it themselves. So I think Billy was keeping it. Billy was also keeping an eye on the Sadusky household as well. We saw that in the first or second episode, and there was a reason behind that because that's her dad's place. So, in my opinion, and also finally, Billy also got the Elvis message as well at the end of the previous episode. I think Liam sent it to her because that's his aunt, and probably since that his aunt could help. So I do think Liam, as we found out with the cliffhanger at the end of this episode, I do think Liam did send that message because Billy is his auntie, his dad's sister. And I'm willing to put maybe both my testicles on that. I genuinely think that's the case. It makes sense to me. I don't know what you guys think. But regardless, we have the escape room scenario with Jesse and Riley. They're having to figure out how to get out of that room. And you know what? Sometimes the scenarios Jess finds herself in, it's like playing a video game. Need to escape the room. Well, the clues are going to be in the room that they're in. And so they've tried to figure out what could be the reason how they escaped the room. Obviously, Peter had dementia, so if he got trapped. Oh, thank you very much. But it's a valid point, don't you think? I mean, the real bad guy is Salazar. He's the bad guy. I think Billy is a bait and switch bad guy. We think she's a baddie. I don't think she's going to kill anyone or anything like that. I think she has some devious methods to get what she wants, and she'll take a dark path in manipulating people. She could have killed those kids after they tried to fuck her over in a couple of episodes earlier, but that never happened because she's not necessarily like that. But she does maybe does the wrong things for the right reasons, but not necessarily. She won't like maybe cross that line. But I do believe that maybe she got kind of disowned by her father, Peter Sadusky, which is why she doesn't keep in contact with them, which is probably why she wasn't at the funeral either of her dad. So, but yeah, that's what I think. I mean, like I said earlier, when the corporate bad guys were talking to Billy and mentioning the fact that she, the sort of time she's been investing in trying to find this treasure, they mentioned that her brother died, and her brother is Liam's dad. And she's got the green mother box, which Liam's dad had apparently, and she also got the message of Elvis. It makes sense. It makes sense, dude. Anyway, Liam is singing Neil Young songs at his granddad's funeral. Meanwhile, Jessica and Riley trying to figure out a way of getting out of the clue room, and eventually they start finding the sort of clues they need to get out of there. They see an FBI seal which is above the panel of the for them to escape, and then they kind of put two and two together, and yeah, this particular code will get us out of the clue room, like where they see a number underneath a dog is loyalty, yada yada. It's just, oh god, it's so Batman-y. I get it, and it's very hard for me to explain right now, but I'm feeling like shit. But yeah, I do get all the clues they were figuring out. At the same time, Jessica's also figured out the serpent clue as well, the one from Elvis. Eventually, once they get out of the clue room, because at the same time, the rest of the Scooby gang know that they're trapped in there and they're trying to get them out from the other side. But Peter Sadusky's key to get them out from the other side requires a thumbprint, which obviously would only be to Peter Sadusky because it's his thumbprint. They realize the only way for them to get out is for Jessica to get out from the inside. Eventually, Jessica does. Everyone's cool. Jessica mentions that she figured out the Elvis clue, and to cut a long story short on that, the Elvis clue is basically a journal in Louisiana they have to find. It's associated with Elvis's great grandmother, who was Cherokee and all of that shit. And so because Jessica and Liam almost had a, Jessica and Riley almost had a life-ending event. Liam decides not to waste any more time with Jessica and just makes out with her. It's a very nice moment. Ethan, the dirty git, he's like kind of jealous a little bit, but he's got a fine piece of ass himself, and he makes out with her. Oren tries to make out with Tasha, but they did go on a date, but that's not happening. But it seems everyone's coupling right now, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, as Liam starts helping cleaning up the aftermath of the wake, Jessica gets a call from Riley as Riley's going back to his private plane, and Riley says to Jessica, "You know what? Somebody from your group has given some bad guys the Elvis message. So one of your friends is not necessarily your friends." And Jessica kind of realizes, well, that really can only mean Liam. And I'm sure next week we'll figure out why Liam did give the message, because Billy is his auntie. I guarantee it. And that, my friends, is today's episode. And I'm so glad to get this out of the way really quickly. I thought today's episode was okay. More and more, this show started to feel like National Treasure. It really genuinely is. Having Riley on the scenes as well was pretty good. He came across as a bit of an idiot at times, but then at other times he didn't. He came across as quite smart and understanding and all of that. So he wasn't totally stupid. He did mention Ben and Charlotte, who were played by, I forgot the name of the actress, but played by Nicolas Cage, and the German actress whose name escapes me. The girl from Troy, sorry. Yeah, hello, Jim. So, I'm wondering if we'll get a Nicolas Cage cameo now. I mean, everyone knew Riley was coming back, but I think that's the starter. A Nicolas Cage cameo with Diane Kruger, that's it. Diane Kruger and Nicolas Cage, if they cameoed in this, I'll be very happy. That's my big fat bird here. Hello, my son. Hello, my big fat beautiful boy. Aren't you a big fat boy? Yes, you are. You're a big fat boy with a big fat belly. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a big fat boy. Oh, don't fly to the TV, mate. There you go. Go on the shoulder. Okay, go over there. So, it looks like next week we'll be going to Louisiana to find this secret journal, which will have the next clue to the treasure. I don't even know what the fucking treasure is, but it is a treasure nevertheless. So, yeah, a nice episode. Kind of a bit sad knowing that, that all the shenanigans was going to be awake and trying to escape a clue room. But fair enough. It was still good for what it was. It still felt like National Treasure. It was good to get Riley in this episode as well. So I give this episode a solid 7 out of 10. I'm actually starting to like this show. Oh, thank you very much. I'm feeling not at my best today. I'm not feeling very good, but I'll tell you what, it's always good to know that the cunt of cunts, Andrew Tate, has been arrested. And that, my friends, is always good news. What a great way to end 2022, huh? Yes. Yeah, for sure. Hello, my son. Yeah, he's my big fat boy. Me and him, we never started off too well. He was scared of me. But, I mean, you can understand that, but now look at him. He's totally fine with me. Aren't you, my son, with the big fat belly? He's got a big fat belly. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So, yeah. I'm very happy with this episode. I'm starting to enjoy the show and I'm starting to like it. I think it's not too bad now. First 2 episodes wasn't that great, but last week's episode, this week's episode was pretty good. Roll on next week. I look forward to it. I'm definitely going to get some rest, mate. I'm really pissed off as well. Like, today is officially New Year's Eve. Just turned New Year's Eve 20 minutes ago. And today and tomorrow is money-making days for me as a cab driver, and I'm fucking sick. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. Aren't I, my son? Yes, I'm fucking sick. So, what to do? I'm pissed off. Can't make any decent money because I'm sick. Can't be driving around under the weather. So, I got to stay home and recover and play with my big fat birds. Yeah. All right. that's my review. 7 out of 10 for episode 4. Can't wait for episode 5. This show, I'm actually enjoying it. It's not that bad. It's finally becoming national treasure, and that's a good thing. I don't know how you guys felt about it. Let me know in a comment below. I apologize so much for how I am today. I wish I was not feeling sick. I'm just gradually getting worse. Luckily for me, I've got some paracetamols. I'll be knocking a few of those back before I jump into bed. But yeah, to Daniel Vance, Jim, take care. Happy New Year, you fellas, and to everyone else out there in YouTube land. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. We'll see you guys in 2023, where I'll be back on Monday with a Tulsa King review. Tulsa King, if you're not watching that, you should be watching that. It's the best gangster show in a long time. A mix of many genres. You know, you got your Sons of Anarchy, you got your Sopranos, and various other things. Maybe a bit of Boardwalk Empire too. You know, it's fantastic. And of course, you got Sylvester Stallone running the ship, and it's a bit of a black comedy as well, which I love. You know, when it comes to my comedies, I always love my black comedies the most. All right, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next year. Take care. Bye bye.